In life, we've got a lot of decisions to make. Some decisions are super easy, others a little more challenging, and there are some that are downright scary. And in my life, I've made some really scary decisions. But as it turned out, some of the most scary, challenging decisions have ultimately led to some amazing results and me feeling incredible. Just so you know, I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not telling you what to do financially. I'm just sharing my personal experience and stories of what I went through. And hopefully maybe you can get something out of it. Number one is whether or not to go to college. My senior year, all my friends were all excited because they knew where they were going. They were getting letters. They were always talking about what college they were going to. But they all had parents that were paying for it. And so when it came to me making the decision, I really had to dig deep and decide whether or not I truly felt that it was something for me and that I was going to take seriously. Because I couldn't afford to go and to just waste this money on tuition that I was going to have to pay back if I wasn't going to get value from it and I wasn't going to be serious. And so I made the decision that for my future, I was going to invest in myself. I was going to take the student loans. I was going to work extra jobs while I was in college to make sure that I could make ends meet. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made. One of the earliest financial decisions I made that was super scary. Now, college, I'm not saying is for everybody. It was right for me. The second scariest decision I ever made was filing bankruptcy. When I started my fitness center, I made it happen. It was amazing. And it didn't go so well. We got some partners that weren't the greatest partners, lots of legal fights. And long story short, I had to decide whether or not I was going to file bankruptcy, and it was so scary. It was at that point I had like $500,000 worth of like business debt, and at that point I was taking money off of my credit cards. I was driving a beer cart at a country club to make ends meet. But the decision to file bankruptcy was so scary for me. Filing bankruptcy gave me a second chance, and it was amazing, and I don't take that second chance lightly. I'll never get into debt again like that, and you know, I'll never do it again. But I learned a valuable lesson from it. And at the end of the day, I'm better because of it. But at the time, it was so scary. It was so scary making the call, writing the check, to finally be like, okay, I give up. My dream is dead, and I'm calling it quits. It worked out. You know, a few years later, I started a YouTube channel, and the rest is history. Number three, the third scary decision I had to make was regarding finances again, and it was right after I filed bankruptcy. I didn't have any money. You know, I was personal training on the side to make like some extra money, and I had the decision whether or not to keep my health insurance going. And, you know, health insurance is one of those things that it's like, you know, if you're not using it and you're healthy, you're like, what am I spending this money on, right? I don't need this. Talk to my wife and she's like, hey, idiot, you never know when you're going to get into an accident or whatever. I was like, I'm good. I'm, you know, 29, 30 years old. I'm all right. She made me write the check and use like the last like $200 in my account and buy insurance. And the next day, I ruptured my Achilles tendon. I was playing racquetball. I jump up, I swing, I land, and pop, it goes. And right away, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm hurt. You know what I thought of? Thank God I wrote that check. I hobbled my ass to the car. I drove myself to the doctor, and I was in surgery that night. I had surgery, I had rehab, and it was all covered because of my insurance. But it would have been like $30,000 if I hadn't. And so once again, my investment paid off. Life insurance. Life insurance was one of the scariest decisions I ever made because it makes you think about things. It makes you think about the idea of, I'm not invincible. At some point, I might actually die. And what happens after that? What happens to my family? What happens to my wife, my parents, my businesses, my loved ones? Unfortunately, none of us get a get out of jail free card, right? Nobody's figured out a loophole. At some point, we all are going to, you know, go to the big wardrobe in the sky and you know, we're going to be leaving loved ones behind. And life insurance, the way I look at life insurance, it's not necessarily for me other than the peace of mind, but it's the ultimate expression of love. because you are doing something that you know is hard, right? Because it's hard thinking about death. It's hard thinking about, you know, life insurance, but it's the ultimate, for me, I think of it as it's the last selfless thing I can do to show my love to the people. I'm sorry. It's hard to think about. And I guess I'm more emotional about it because I'm sorry for getting upset. I'm more sensitive about this because my wife's brother, 6 months ago, he died. He was 43 years old. He died in his sleep from a massive heart attack, and he had 3 kids and a wife. And it was the first time I've really seen like life insurance and why it was so important. Because they don't have a lot of money, but he did have a $100,000 life insurance policy, and that's what they used to, you know, sort of get through and get by, and, you know, all the expenses that come along with burying somebody, because you don't realize how expensive that kind of stuff is. And so anyway, guys, life insurance, it's a good thing, and it's something that I personally feel everybody should have. If you guys are looking for to get a quote, guys, there's a link down below to Haven Life, who is today's video sponsor, and an amazing resource. Guys, below this video is a link to Haven Life. Haven Life is an online life insurance agency that is sort of changing the way that we buy life insurance. It's super affordable. It's incredibly easy. With Haven Life, you can apply online and get an instant decision whether or not you're eligible. And if you are, you can start and be insured that day. What I love so much about Haven Life is that it makes buying term life insurance so incredibly easy. Everything is done online, but if you want to, you can call them because they've got incredible customer service. Guys, below this video is a link to Haven Life. Go and get a free quote. See how much it would cost you for $500,000, 15-year, 30-year term, or $2 million. I mean, they go up to $2 million, and you would be amazed at how affordable it is. Haven Life is trying to make life less hard and easier to buy life insurance and take care of your loved ones. They've also got this really cool new program called Haven Life Plus that gives you access to additional services and programs at no additional cost. Free will service, vouchers to Minute Clinic. They've even got this like virtual vault along with like home DNA tests. Go get a free quote, literally. Just see how much it would be. You're going to be surprised at how crazy, nuts, affordable it is. And at the end of the day, it's peace of mind. I know that it's not a comfortable thing to talk about or to think about. And obviously, I get very upset thinking about it just because I don't want to die, right? None of us want to die. But we really don't have a choice over the matter. It's going to happen at some point. But what you do have control over, the decision you make to buy life insurance, it's about taking care of the people, the dependents, the people you leave behind. And it's, like I said, it's the last loving thing you can do for somebody and people that you love very much. And so for me, I think it's something critical that everybody should do. And if you're looking for a great company that makes it easy and affordable, get that free quote down below. Hit that link and go check out Haven Life. The 5th scary decision I've had to make is saving for retirement. And I know that sounds stupid, right? It's like, of course you want to save for retirement. But for me, it was scary. I'm like, well, what if I need that money? And the truth is, if you really need that money, you can get it. Now, are you going to get penalized? Yes. Saving for retirement, starting young, is so incredibly important with the whole like compounding interest and just putting money away. And so I am a firm believer in everybody should start saving for retirement like now. As the younger, the better. Now, I'm not going to give you advice on how much of your salary or anything like that. You need to decide on a plan for you, but you need to make sure that you actually work the plan. It's not something that you just do like now and then a year from now, you're like, oh, let me put a few $1,000s or Every single month, every single week, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you're dollar cost averaging. But like I said, I'm not like an expert by any means, but it is one of the best decisions you can make for your future. And that's one of the things that, for me, was scary. I don't like thinking long term. I don't like thinking future. I'm very like right now, but as I've gotten older, as I've gotten a little bit more wiser and seen more things happen, like good and bad, I've realized that it's so important. The decisions you make now, while things are good and you're healthy, have a dramatic impact on your happiness and your success long term in the future. We're all going to have to make some hard decisions, but I just want you to know that you're strong enough to endure them, and that sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones that produce the most beautiful results. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.